All right, so I finally got my hands on an ARKEN Optic. Waiting a long time to see one of these. I always figured a student would come through the class with one, but they never did. So last year I've been hearing a lot about them. So I went out and ordered one so we can beat the living crap out of it at the next class and see how well it does. Because quite honestly, we don't normally recommend any sub $500 optics for our long-range precision classes, but this is our SH-4 Gen 2 6 to 24 by 50. But after taking this out of the box, man, I am super impressed with this thing. It's stout. It's built like a frickin' tank. 34 millimeter main tube. You're gonna get about 34 mils of adjustment, or 108 in the MOA model. This is the mil model. Standard 10th mil clicks. Their MOA one, I believe, is quarter standard. Zero stop. 25 to infinity parallax. It has an illuminated reticle with just the center crosshair, a dot and crosshair illuminate, which I'll try to show you in some video that I'm going to put in right after this. Super stout, man. This thing is heavy duty. I am super impressed with the quality of it right out of the box. I like the knurled turrets, and I'm going to tell you, these turrets feel absolutely fantastic. Let's see if we can get a little close up here. No play at all. Super solid clicks. I tell you what, most people, if you didn't hear about this company, I just handed this to you and I said, what do you think this goes for? Most people, I would guarantee would say over $2,000. I mean, that's just the quality of how it feels in your hand. I mean, this thing is just, it's a little beast, man. And I'm kind of excited to beat the living crap out of it and see how it does. We'll do a tall target test and see how well it tracks, because I mean, really, that's the important part. The glass is really nice. There's a little bit of color fringing. You'll see it in the video that I'm putting here. It looks much worse through the iPhone than it does when your eyeball is physically looking through it. But most scopes have a little bit of aberration anyway. So super impressed. Your illumination is going to give you 6 different illumination levels. All right, and in between each one is a off switch, which is always good because students always tend to leave the batteries on and kill the battery. So we're going to put this on one of the rental scopes. We're going to run it through its paces, but before that, we're going to beat it up a little bit and see how well it holds up. So here's a look at power line 720 yards away. We are on 12 power, but it gives you a good idea of the reticle. And you could see on the horizontal plane of the reticle between 6 and 8, you have the finer adjustments if you are going to do some unknown distance ranging. To me, I like it. It's a simple reticle. I like the center dot. I am not a huge fan of a crosshair type of reticle, and that's just personal preference, what my eye likes to see. And again, they go in increments of 2 where they number them, which is different from a lot of other scopes. We'll use 5s and 10s. This gives you them in 2s. You know, take it or leave it. That's up to you whether you like that or not. To me, it makes really no difference one way or the other. But you get a good idea of how crisp the picture is. We're going to try to zoom in on 24 power now. I'll probably lose a little bit of it. Again, it's real bright out from my point of view, so I can't quite see if everything is focused great. Well, that I can tell it's not focused great. Let's try to mess around with the parallax. Again, not the greatest camera work, but you get the idea. That's a little better. So now we're zoomed in on 24 power. You're going to see a little color fringing on the outer edges of the scope. I can tell you it looks a lot worse through the iPhone than it does when your eyeball is physically looking through it. So real nice so far, super impressed. I can't wait to get it out onto the range, and we're going to beat the hell out of this thing because that's the only way we do things. So I am zooming all the way out, and we are on 6 power. And again, that reticle gets real small, and with the iPhone doesn't know what to focus on, so it's a little difficult. There's a little better picture for you. So that is on 6 power on the scope. Nice picture, good glass. So far, so good for you. So that is on 6 power on the scope. Nice picture, good glass. So far, so good.